Hey guys, it's been a long 10 months or more that I've finally got another video for you. So, it's been a while because I've had just a lot of hectic shit going on in the last 12 months. So there's been no videos, no content, no doing nothing with the car for multiple reasons. Reasons that I've had lots of stuff going on and the reason that this motor is sitting on the stand right now. So, yeah, long story short, it's blown up or something's let go in there. Power cruise early last year, second lap in. There was meant to be a video of this, of course, but yeah, as I said, second lap in, the motor started knocking. In the 2 laps, it wasn't skidding well, wasn't wanting to do a burnout, and it was stopping and all the rest of it, carrying on, and yeah, obviously finally let go. Had to get towed off the track, and yeah, managed to actually start it up and drive it on the trailer though, which was great. But all in all, it was a pretty sucky day. It's a big mission to get set up for power cruise and whatnot, and all your tyres, all your fuel, just towing the car down and everything. And yeah, to have it blow up on the second lap, it does suck, but these things happen with racing and cars and all the rest of it. So yeah, here we are. Today I've got a stripped down video for you to find out what's gone wrong with this old donk. And yeah, so we'll start tearing it down, and you know, then we can play the game of what I should have done, what I should have done and what I shouldn't have done, and to maybe save the engine from letting go. But anyways, it is what it is. We're here now, so we'll start ripping it apart. I did most of the boring stuff first, just so we don't have to do all that. I pulled off all the accessories, timing cover, carby, obviously, distributor, yeah, some bits and pieces. So all that sort of boring stuff's done, so we can just rip into the bigger stuff and find out what's let go in here. So anyways, no further ado, let's get started. I've already unbolted the rocker covers and everything, so we'll just start pulling some things off and getting into it. So I think what's happened is it's done either a big end bearing, a conrod bearing, or maybe a main crank bearing. I'm not too sure. As I said, it did still run, but it was pretty noisy. So it's going to be interesting to find out what's actually happened to it, because it's been sitting on a trailer since whenever Power Cruise or Power Play was early last year. So it's pretty sad. The old girl hasn't seen any action in a long time. So I can't wait to get this thing back together and going again, so we can get back out and have some fun. It's going to be most likely a bit of a budget build back together, only because can't go throwing a whole heap of cash at it at the moment, but that's alright. I wanted to build it for nitrous, but I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe we'll just send it and slap nitrous on it when it's built anyway, so yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's get this rocker gear off. I've got to number everything as we go through, so sorry if it takes a little while. I might fast forward. Alrighty, so ripped all the rockers off and the push rods out. Now, all the valley looks still really clean. There was no dramas at all in there, so I doubt there was any problems with the top end. I never thought there was any problems with the top end. Timing set still looks brand new, really. Looks really clean, and all the rocker gear looks great still. For anyone who hasn't seen any of my previous videos, it's got a set of Yellow Terra roller rockers on it. It's got Crow cam push rods, and we've got a solid cam. So we have solid lifters and roller lifters as well, with the dog leg to join them. So I'm pretty sure that's just sort of like stabilisation for high revs and all that sort of stuff. And if you want to spin a motor quick, it's always good to have roller everything. So yeah, top end still looks great. As you can see, I've numbered at all, so it all goes back in its same spot when it goes back together. So now let's rip off this timing gear and pull the cam out. Oh yeah, these are also the pedestal mounts for the rockers, so as opposed to your standard mount for your rocker arm. It just allows it to pivot really well. And yeah, alrighty, let's keep ripping it apart. Alright, so I was hoping to work my way down to the sump after I got the cam and the heads out, but the cam gear is, the crankshaft gear is being an absolute pain. So I'm going to pull the sump off and see if I can pry it off that way, because it is just glued on there and I don't have the right puller to pull it off. So let's get this sump pan off and see if we can get the bloody sprocket off. I hope we can, otherwise we're not going to get too far. Alrighty, one sump with a fair bit of what looks like bearing in the bottom of it. Don't know if you can see any of that in there, but I'll give the camera a better look in a minute. Alright. Hard to see, but right there, that's all chunks of what I think is bearing. Ooh, my bad. Yes, that would probably be the culprit for our knock. Alright, so I got that pesky timing set off. Nothing that a couple of big pry bars can't do. Well, all but anyways. Let's see if the cam gives us any grief. I've got to be somewhat careful pulling this thing out. Try to keep it straight, but just do the best you can not to score the loads at all. There's our nice juicy crow cam. A little bit of pitting in that lobe there, I don't know if you can see. Overall, no really bad scoring that I can see on the cam. That's probably due to all the roller gear, just keeping it nice. But yeah, little bit of pitting in that rear lobe there, but actually in the rear three really. But overall it's okay. I'll have to speak to the machine shop to see if that's alright. I'm assuming it's okay considering everything's roller, but we'll find out just to be safe. So now that is out, we can truly carry on. We'll get these heads off now. Now I'm pretty sure when you're undoing them, you're meant to go out to in, because when you're doing them up, you go in to out in a circle rotation. I'm sure every manufacturer is different, so always check the tightening torques and the torque rotation, whichever way you're meant to do it, because there's always a sequence. But I'm going to get these all cracked and then we'll just send it off with the rattle gun. You could just fully send it the whole way through and not worry about cracking them with a breaker bar, but maybe we'll do a little bit of stuff not dodgy. And by all means, this is not an informational video, an informative video. So make sure anything you're doing to the engine, I would recommend always having done by a professional. Don't take any of my advice. I'm not an engine builder, so nothing can come back on me. Alright, that's all those loose. Check all them again, got all those. Now these heads, cast iron heads, man, on the Clevos, so heavy. So I'm not looking forward to pulling these off, but I'm sure we'll manage. But they are big, heavy boat anchors. I'd really love to get some alloy heads, but they are not even close to in the budget at the moment. So you never know. Later on down the track, might be something that this engine may see, but definitely not at the moment. If these things are still okay and nothing's hit them or whatever, I will definitely be reusing them. This has got me working up a sweat. So muggy at the moment. Alright, that's all of them. Alright, heads are off. We can turn this thing over now and get to the fun bit. Give these a little look over the heads and few bits and pieces in a minute. Make a mess again. Nice. Love that for me. A few nice chunks of metal in the pickup. So I'd say a bearing is going to be pretty much destroyed by the look of the metal in here. Pretty noisy, but still ran. The heads look all pretty good. Got some big valves in these heads. Pretty sure closed chamber heads are better. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure these were open chamber heads. So I can't remember for the life of me at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But yeah, pretty sure these have got huge exhaust valves in them now, so they look pretty enormous. But anyways, all the cylinder heads are looking pretty good in there. You can really see all that metal now, absolutely tons of it. Big chunks just down in here. So that's all pretty nasty. Other cylinder head. All looks pretty good. So definitely contained to the bottom end. So we're about to start ripping that apart now. I think we'll get the pickup off and we'll knock the first piston and rod out. So here we go. Oil pump off, and that's the oil pump drive for the oil pump. Let's get this first rod and piston out. So number one, where are you, right? Our rubber mallets, and hopefully the cap sort of just taps off nice. Alrighty. Now, are these marked which way they go? Might just put some arrows towards the front. They're all numbered 1 to 8, which is really good. I'm just trying to find my text or wherever I put it. I might just mark the direction that they go in though. I'm not sure if they're... You definitely wouldn't be able to put them back to front, so we'll just put an arrow to the front of the motor for which way the end cap goes. Alright, first bearing. There's definitely some scoring on that bearing, but that's definitely not the one that's let go. Doesn't overall look great, but not the one that's caused it to let go. So we've got a little bit of tubing to go on the end of our conrod bolts, just so it doesn't scratch the wall of the cylinder on the way out. Just stick those over there. And maybe a few taps with the back of the rubber mallet. Hopefully she comes out. Alrighty, so number 1 piston out. These are hyper-eutechnic pistons, hyper-eutechnic. I don't exactly know. I don't know the exact way to say it, but I know it's something like that. It's sort of like in between a cast and a forged piston. This was built quite a long time ago, this engine, so maybe that's why it doesn't have forges in it. I suppose it goes to a budget thing as well. A little bit of scoring on that side of the bearing as well, but again, not the one that's let go anyways. So bearing just drops right out. Where did that go? So again, a little bit of scoring, but not too bad. I have noticed when I've been pulling it apart that it's got a lot of end float, so that's the movement back and forth in the crankshaft. Now, all engines are meant to have some slight end float. Every manufacturer has a different tolerance, but this one, you could tell like it was way too much. It felt like it was like 2 mil, and it's probably meant to be something like 1/1000th of an inch or something like that. So yeah, whatever it is, it was too much. So I don't know if it's a thrust bearing that's actually let go, but we're gonna soon find out anyway. Just mark all of these now. Oh, well, there you go. That's the one. I've literally just touched it and it started to wobble, so it is number 2. Oh yeah. Here's some bearing fragments there. So that is all over the shop. So we just got one bearing that's let go by the looks of it, which is a real shame because I hated to have to pull this thing apart because man, it went great for a little naturally aspirated motor. But unfortunately, she's no Barra and didn't last a lifetime. I got lucky with my old BA. It bloody went for like 4 years, 420 kilowatts, E85, standard motor. It was only a BA Series 2. Just with a standard size turbo, just being high flow on E85. And man, the thing copped absolute hiding. Multiple events, street driving, all of it. Good for 4 years, never missed a beat. Only ended up letting go. Wastegate solenoid failed and it went 50 pound and then just spat the engine to bits. So, but if it wasn't for a small part like that, and it usually is little parts that make your engine just turn to crap, but not the case with this one anyways. But sometimes anything like oil feed or wastegate solenoids for a turbo application can be all it takes for it to be all over. Oh yeah, got to put some tubing on the bolts. Use the tubes off the other one. Stop cutting up my tube. Nice one. It's good with videos because you just get to see stuff like that just happen. That just absolutely fell out. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, put a huge dent in the piston too. So, well, not a huge dent, but a dent. So I don't know if that can be fixed, but that sucks. And I cannot believe I just dropped that piston. I'm so filthy at that. You never know, depending on what the machine shop says, I might have to buy a new set just because of that ding. I don't know if I can fix that. But anyways, I thought I'd show you the bearing that is just everywhere right here. So it's just spewed out all over the shop. So I'm having trouble getting this cap off because of all that bearing that's jammed up in between there. So I'll work with that for a minute and see how we go. Alright, I got that cap off and you can see there's just like nothing left of that bearing. Just a little slither, and that's the crank there. So you can definitely tell it's made a few marks on the crank, but considering the bearing, it's not as bad as I thought. So I don't know whether it will get away with the polish or it's made the crank undersized, but we'll have to find all that out once the machine shop gets it anyways. So yeah, fun and games. So it was, what cylinder did I say it was? Number, this was 1. So, is it 5 or 6? Anyways, that was the culprit of our knocking motor. So I'll get the rest of it apart, but I think I'll leave the video at that today. So finally found out what was wrong with the motor, which is good. Not a good result, but I never thought it was going to be a good result. Can't believe I dropped that piston. Absolutely dirty it myself. So let's hope that can be resolved and fixed. Otherwise I'm up for a new set of pistons, which I could have definitely done without. So that was a massive rookie error, dropping that out. Should have had my hand under it, but trying to video and do this at the same time, and don't do it ever if often. So yeah, big rookie mistake. Let's hope it can be fixed. But anyways, thanks for watching the video, and as soon as this stuff goes in the machine shop, I'll do a little bit of an update and we'll start getting it back together and hopefully have a new video for you guys, and let's get this thing back to the track and actually getting some drive time in, because I do miss driving it. Sitting pretty over there, just minus a motor. Engine bay is looking pretty gross at the moment too, just oil everywhere, wires everywhere now. This was all covered before by covers and batteries and stuff. I think I'm going to do a battery in the boot and hide all these wires in under the guard, so make it a bit of a cleaner engine bay. It's not going to be painted, I'll just tidy it up, clean all this oil out, and probably just rattle can black it again just so it looks somewhat respectable. It'll turn to crap again, but it's all good. Just do a band-aid fix for now and start actually having some fun driving it. So yeah, cheers for watching guys, and I'll hopefully see you soon. I did say I was gonna finish up the video before, but I'll just edit this bit back in. I just wanted to show how mangled this bearing was. This is both halves of the conrod big end, and they've just like fused together, and then one section of it is gone. So yeah, really made a mess of number 2 big end bearing. No idea why either. Luckily this crank, considering this whole section of the bearing is gone, is not destroyed, and I don't know how. I can definitely feel some marks in there, but considering what's happened to this bearing, I think it looks pretty good. So hopefully maybe only like a minor bit of machining needed. Maybe we have to step up a bearing size, or like even if we're super lucky, polishing. But the main mark is just there. I don't know. I'm not a machinist, so I can't tell whether it needs polishing or machining, but I'll definitely find out. But anyways, I just thought I'd show you guys that when I got the crank out. So now we'll leave it at that, and there was no dramas with any of the main crank bearings. They all seemed fine. Alright, until next time. Thanks guys.